What should include architectural student project?
So projects begin by the situation plan. Situation plan should have all the roads, buildings, and description. You can add two type situation plan. First is with scale of 25,000 and another scale of 400. So pay attention that you have to put the direction of the north on your situation plan, the main road, the legend should present all the type of the building, type of the street and road, and main important visual point around your building. Um, After that, you should include the photo fixation. Photo fixation with description from which point this photo were taken. You can add also the description about the idea of your project with main capacity and properties of the area. So it is have to be general information of your project. The second scale of your situation plan with you see with red line of the area that will be occupied by your building, but by your master plan of the building, again with legend, with description about roads and area. uh, you have to add approximate and rough type of section of area you can take from the earth Google Earth. So after that you have to show the typology of the building and area. So you have to separate and divide the area by typology of the building. For example, which building is residential or public building, administrative. So around of your site you have to show the typology of the building and area, and roughly you can explain this as after that you have to provide of course the direction of the sun and direction of the wind. Here you have to write the diagram, and you have to add the diagram of the sun passing and wind direction, with of course next to this diagram you have to add rows of the wind. So um, another important moment that you have to add the concept, the creation steps. So three or five steps that describe your idea growing, how you developed your idea, which principle, for example the principle of the access point, for example the pedestrian, the entry point, the main road. This was idea that you orientated your building for the better to provide better access for the pedestrian. Another solution that you want to, for example, include to your idea that the direction of your building have to combine it by of general configuration of the area, and others. So it is depend from the project. You can add for your idea that for example your building was closed by other building of residential. That's why my idea was to open some facade to do the glassing, and to keep close some other side. So all these steps have to describe your creation etaps and your maybe changes or inside of your idea. All this information that I'm explained to you, it is for album presentation. You can group the project layout in one page, but if it will be clear to understand, and it is depend from your from the dimension of your building and your project. So if it will possible, you can group plans, for example facade or section. If not, you have to give one page separately just for one plan. So it is depend from the building, but such kind of things like photo fixation or site analysis, or to, for example situation plan, it's possible to group by one page. Site analysis separated, of course, from the situation plan. Here, as you see, you have to put topography plan. It is possible to take also from Google Earth. From your site of building, you can show which panorama and view points you can reach. So most important visual accent from the area of your building. Here you have to present set of schema, functional scheme. First is green area, after that is height of the building. So by the color you have to separate different height of the building and present by the schema. And you have to present also the direction of the wind. You can enter also some description about the explanation of the area. So this is his schema of the accessibility of pedestrian people, and your functionality. So the radius and the building which close building, the public building which is close to your building. So by the radius you can show around which public building situated yours building. And isometric view of the master plan with explanation, because your area, it is not only your building. Master plan have to be separated and have to have many functional zoning. So by the explanation you will explain the zone by zone, where we can have a rest, where you have walkable area, green area, and area for the pedestrian. All these kind of things you have to explain by such kind of leaders and access of explanation. General plan with scale 1 to 500. In general plan, you have to add the legend which will explain the area and the functional division of your general plan, and logo of the wind direction. In your master plan, you have to include parking area for visitor. You have to include green area, and you can do gap between main street between noise area and your building by including green area. Sometimes the lines of your general plan going along and parallel with main direction of your building, but sometimes it is counterwise. In your album, you can group your layout or present them page by page. It is depend also from composition and from the dimension of your building. So plan you present by scale 1 to 100 or 1 to 200. It depends from your building dimension. So you have to add list of the room with square meters. You have to put all the axes and dimension between them. About dimension, you have to present all the dimension between the axis and the general dimension between first axis and end one. You have to write also the name of your plan. So level, for example, first plan, first floor, second floor. Inside of your plan, you add all the furniture. Again, here you have to put square meters. Next to the name of the area and room, you have to put square meters, and inside of plan you have to put number of the name of the area. Okay, and furniture. Do furniture with minimal thickness of the line. In plan, you have to fill by the black all the wall and show the windows part. You have to provide at least 2 sections. You have to put, of course, in your plan the section line, which will show the part which you cut in your building. So this section you have to present with scale of 1 to 100 or 1 to 200. You have to put all the axes and dimension between them, and you have to add general dimension between first axis and end one. You have to add also entourage. It means that area around of your building, like background. You have to add all the level of the floors and roof, other corner. All the high level have to be presented in your section. And you have to add, it is very important, you have to add the details, the section of the joints between the facade and roof, for example, or between facade and balcony, terrace, or just wall. You have to put this in the scale on 1 to 50 or 1 to 25. I think 1 to 50 it will be better. You see, all the description of the material have to be presented. Description of the material of inside of your detail section. This is detail of material and or solution of the building facade. And facades have to be presented by the scale of 1 to 100 or 1 to 200. It's depend from again from the dimension of your building. Try to use simple colors, not with accent or some hard strong colors. Conceptual view, you have to add people inside of facade, inside of the area of your picture, trees. In the facade you have to add also the levels, and you have to describe the name or site of from which point of view you see to your facade. And you have to add exterior, which will show not all the area, all the building, but just part, for example entry of your building. And you have to put at least 4 interior inside. Just try to choose the interesting area of interior, for example public area, not standard one. For example, it will not interesting to see the standard classroom, for example, but building public area or just some entertainment or common area, it is interesting to present as interior. Your project presentation will be presented by album.